We were just walking, taking an evening stroll, me and him, and we just heard noises. It was like bang, bang, bang in succession.
We love Dennis.
Oh, God, it's okay. Get Libby.
Lick that baby.
Yeah.
He was the type of guy everybody liked. Big smile, polite, honest. He worked as a grocery butcher. He was tall and could probably eat a horse. He fixed up his grandfather's truck, winning first place in Autorama this year.
Booyah!
But everyone has their vices, and Dennis did too. 10 years ago, he had a drug problem. When I met him, he was proud to be clean and sober, but unfortunately in recent months he slipped. He told friends and family he wanted to get clean, but he didn't have a chance.
A spokesperson for the department says several narcotics officers were in the process of serving a search warrant at a home on the 9100 block of Kendrick Way when things got ugly.
We heard that Dennis was dead.
Officials say the man ran away. Deputies caught him and put him back in the home. They then continued their warrant search when the man managed to get a hold of his gun.
Talking with neighbors and seeing the aftermath, we learned that Dennis was brought into the house, handcuffed in front to open a safe.
This is recording now, so you're all aware it's recording. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Okay.
Our dealings with Sacramento Sheriffs have only raised more questions, which they cannot or will not answer.
Initially was the belief that Dennis got a shot off. Our investigation now has indicated that's probably not the case. We don't believe that Dennis ever fired a shot.
It's hard to understand how one might imagine a gunshot, let alone several. How often do Sacramento sheriffs report false stories to the media?
And opened fire.
It's also hard to understand how sheriffs kill someone who's in their custody.
There's a gun in the safe. We know that. He told the officers that. Right?
The hardest thing to understand is how sheriffs investigate themselves. Since DA Jan Scully ended oversight of sheriff shootings in 2011, sheriffs have been investigating themselves and incidents have skyrocketed.
Do you know personally any of the officers involved?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So, personal nature, like, outside of work or...
We know all these people. It's not, it's a large department, but it's not that large.
Right.
Okay.
The sheriffs could not share basic facts or even truthful facts about what happened.
Okay, so because of the close quarters there, the officers are all standing around him. One of them is actually in the closet with him.
We found the closet door taken off, sitting in another room with bullet holes, meaning it was on when Dennis was shot, leaving no room for another officer in the closet.
One of the officers was in the closet, actually in the closet with him.
Correct.
We asked if this officer yelled gun.
One of these other folks are the ones that yelled gun.
Dennis was tall and would have filled the closet opening while awkwardly kneeling handcuffed. It's impossible for someone to see from behind.
The thing that we run into when we investigate these kind of things is that people's ability to recall information during such a tense situation is difficult sometimes.
Excuses aside, if investigators won't look at basic facts, how can they know if excessive force was used or if tragic mistakes were made? If Dennis lost his balance, or whether a cop had a grudge from an earlier scuffle.
Going over the fence, he accidentally kicks one of the officers in the face.
They didn't care to ask.
Which officer shot first? There was one in the closet. There were some behind him.
We can't remember.
Right.
We can't say.
Okay.
We don't know the answer to that.
So,
Nor did they even care to ask how many were there.
How many cops were there? 5?
At least that. What I can tell you is that I know that there were at least 3 officers standing behind him.
at least 4 or 5 standing behind him.
Correct.
Okay.
The sheriffs left us unsure of what we'd heard.
Because we're still investigating it. We've done the bulk of the investigation.
But they strung us along for months with no further information.
If we could get that information later time.
Absolutely.
They finally told us they would answer no questions, broadly claiming a narrow and optional exemption of the California Public Records Act. If sheriffs are truthful and honest, what are they afraid of sharing? If they aren't, who watches the watchman?